Hey, it's Stokely from Sus on Delay. What's going on? It's very important for me to control my emotions, specifically anger. The other ones don't really, and the ones that are, loosely associated with anger for the most part, or the ones that trigger anger, like me being happy is not going to trigger anger. You know what I mean? Sadness and depression, which is, very much prevalent, are not really emotions that I experience a lot. There's moments when I feel sad and I just break out crying, but that's very few and far between. That's maybe, 3, 4, 5 times for the whole year, maybe. You know what I mean? But, what I do is, what I've been doing a lot of times is I channel almost everything into anger, which, I don't know if that's a good thing. So I channel my embarrassment into anger. I channel my shame into anger. I channel my my sadness into anger. Even the depression or feelings of depression sometimes when it's really significant, when I really had one that I can recollect instance where I was feeling depressed, that didn't manifest. That wasn't able to be channeled into anger. That channeled into making bad decisions and doing things that were unsustainable. You know what I mean? So, but for the most part, the everyday triggers, the everyday disappointment, feeling sad or feeling unfulfilled or limited or all these negative little things, I just channel them into anger, because anger seems to motivate. It's similar to how the news agencies or the politicians use hate to motivate people to vote in a certain way for a certain whatever, fear. They use hate or they use fear to make somebody vote in one way or the other. They also use shame, but shame is mostly to disable the opponent. But when you want to encourage your faction, you stoke hate in them or you stoke fear in them, because when they're afraid, they feel like they have to defend themselves, so they have to take action. When they're hateful, they feel like, again, they have to attack or defend themselves, so they're going to go out and vote. You know what I mean? So, in order to make myself more productive instead of just wallowing in self-pity and all these things, I turn my those kind of emotions into anger. And the anger is I don't even know where it's directed. Most of the time it's not even directed at anybody. It's really directed at myself. But anyhow, fear is something that I do experience a lot. So I experience those things a lot, fear and anger. And based on some of these gurus, I don't know where this specific guru is from that I watch sometimes. He seems to be from Thailand, or most probably Thailand, or he could be from Cambodia. He's either from one of those places, somewhere in Southeast Asia, not China specifically. He doesn't seem to be from China, but he said the fear is in the kidneys. And I would assume, I just word associate. I just kind of, based on how I feel about things, I associated that with anger in the kidneys also. And then, then I seen like an American guy who, he's not like a guru that studied up in the mountains for years. He's just, collecting information. He said hate is in, makes you physically sick. He didn't really isolate it to the kidneys, but I did see some other infographic I can't really verify it, nor can I say it's legitimate, but I can understand it because stress hormone cortisol is produced in the adrenal glands, which we always talk about. But what I'm finding out about stress hormone cortisol is it make your hair fall out. It also it also interferes with the production of other hormones. Specifically, it interferes with the production of sex hormones, testosterone and estrogen. It also, from my limited understanding now, it also causes the liver to produce more glucose. So if it causes the liver to produce more glucose, then the pancreas has to release more insulin to metabolize that glucose. Now, if you're already eating excessive added sugars and simple carbohydrates, that excessive glucose due to your elevated states of stress might put you on the insulin resistant spectrum, aka diabetes, right? And that shows that there is a connection between diabetes and stress. There's a connection between so many illnesses and stress. So my son was watching a YouTube video. I forgot what it's called, but the YouTube video was talking about strange medical accidents or something like that, or strange medical side effects or something to that effect. And what happened was, a young man, he was having issues where his body was swelling up, and he had some other issues. But what the doctors did, I don't even know what country this is. I think it's somewhere in Eastern Europe. I should have referenced it. What the doctors did was remove his adrenal glands. When they removed his adrenal glands, the swelling went away and he lost weight. Young man. But as a result of them removing his adrenal glands, his ability to experience fear went away. He wasn't afraid of anything anymore. And, fear is something that we need to preserve our life, to keep ourselves alive, you know what I mean? But that shows you that really, the scientists had already known that the adrenal glands produce stress hormone, but I don't know how many procedures involved removing someone's adrenal glands. But hey, they did it to this kid. They made him lose weight. So that shows you that overproduction of cortisol leads to weight gain. So stress leads to weight gain. So whether it's overproduction because it's sending signals for the liver to produce a whole bunch of glucose. But so someone had said something weird back in the day, but they said, oh, your body can produce its own sugar. I said, get out of here, man. What are you talking about? Get out of here, man. What is this guy talking about? Your body can produce your own sugar. But it's true. If you're stressed, you're experiencing a whole bunch of, maybe you're experiencing it, or maybe you're imposing it on yourself, because sometimes there's no stressor present and you're just doing it to yourself. It's your perspective that's causing you to be stressed out. But anyway, either way, you experiencing this stress, real or fabricated, real or manifested in your reality, right, can lead to weight gain. So it's important to manage stress, let stuff go, not take yourself too seriously, but not, go back to my post, why so serious. I kind of say, you're not going to let people violate you, but you personally, internally, you got to stay cool. And my brother has a motto. I have a brother that he has a motto. He says, take a hard life easy, But sometimes we fabricate things, and sometimes we make things harder than they need to be. Sometimes we're reaching, or we're I don't know, we're taking it, we're thinking too deeply into something, or taking it further than it actually is. Somebody says hi to you, and you're saying, what does that mean? There's people like that. Where they already have a bias, a penchant for, or they're already ready to see something bad. They're already, like I said, they already got a negative bias. They're already getting themselves geared up to hear something wrong from a certain person, maybe due to history or whatever mood they're in, whatever. You're in a bad mood, get out of that. I don't really know what the process is, but let me kind of segue a little bit. The fact that I rejected that guy is saying that the body can produce its own sugar or glucose, whatever, it's kind of, and then now I'm coming to the understanding that, yeah, when you're stressed, your liver can produce glucose. I didn't even look it up. I just totally dismissed it. It's similar to how, I feel like the Bible, it just tells you, do this or else, lightning bolt. But it's, if you look further into, or if you expound on it, or if you, meditate on what this thing is telling you, or what the Bible is telling you not to do, you find that there is some science behind it. It's just exhaustive to explain the whole process. The Bible would have to be as big as a library to explain some of the things that it's trying to tell us. And let's say one weird thing. I don't know. I don't see exactly in the Bible where it says don't eat pork. But we know that people of the Jewish faith and people of the Muslim faith, they don't eat pork. Oh, what it says is that don't eat any animals with a split hoof. Right? So a pig has about 3 toes. So, that would fall into that category. But chicken would fall into that category also. The only thing we'd be eating would probably be cows and horses. I mean, if we really stuck to it like that. But the pigs have something like 96% human DNA. So, when you kind of think about it, if there's a medical condition that a pig has and you're not preparing that food correctly, you can potentially contract whatever illness that pig has. This is me saying that. I don't know if that's true. But I know that they've transplanted a pig's heart into a man a few years ago. He was a prisoner convicted of red rum, and they transplanted a pig's heart into his body. And they've transplanted other parts of pigs into people also. I think pancreases and stuff like that. So, and I was talking to one of my buddies. He's of the Jewish faith, and I was saying, I don't know, these ancient guys, they prohibited eating pigs. I wonder. I said I don't really think they really knew that they knew the science behind it. And he was like, you know what? think they knew the science behind it. So it's possible. It's possible these guys would, you know what I mean? They meditated long enough, thought about it long enough, focused their energy long enough to come to an understanding that, wait a minute, yeah, you know, actually this pig right here, don't eat that, man. That's some divine inspiration has told me that, yeah, it got 96% human DNA, so don't even eat that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyhow, I'm getting weird now and I'm getting off track. But stress associated with weight gain. Stress is associated with weight gain. So if you're going, you're burning the candle at the both ends. If you're stressed and you're consuming sugary drinks, sugary confections like ice cream and cakes and pastries and simple carbohydrates like white flour and white rice and stuff like that. Now, you know what I mean? I'm somewhat of a hypocrite. Last night I had some cookies and cream ice cream. Oh my goodness. I felt so guilty. I chased it with 2 bottles of water. But the I don't even think that was enough to dilute the level of sugar in it, because the first ingredient in ice cream is milk. The second ingredient in this was a Breyer's ice cream. The second ingredient was liquid sugar. The first thing, and then it said in parentheses, sugar water. So the first ingredient is milk. The second ingredient is sugar. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, that's so much sugar. And then around New Year's, I had some ice cream again when me and my son went to the mall. And then when I came home, I had a big old chocolate bar. I didn't eat the whole thing, but I ate a good amount of it. And then, you know, we had the ice cream and the chocolate bar. Well, we had the ice cream. I had the chocolate bar. Well, he had a little piece. On, let's say, Thursday. By Sunday, I had a big pimple on my head and I didn't even know it was there. But anyhow, behind some work at work, and I gotta go. So thank you so much for listening. Yeah, so, you know, don't stress yourself out too much. Don't try to manufacture situations, even in situations that are stressful. I mean, some of them require fight or flight, but most of us are not dealing with, you know, most of us aren't like a police officer or Dirty Harry or James Bronson, Charles Bronson, or, you know, Indiana Jones, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Most of our pressures and our stresses are social and just involve our little circle of people and our circle of people that we see all the time. Let it go. You know, try to, you know, my cousin was saying to me the other day, he's not really on social media too much because it's really just I didn't think he said distraction. It's really, let me see if I can find what he said. Let me see if I can find it without this thing making noise and cutting off my recording. Because sometimes you can't turn off autoplay anymore. It used to be autoplay, you would be able to turn it off, but you're not able to turn off autoplay on your thing anymore. And then we had a big religious discussion, but anyhow, let's see here. He says, I'm over it. Distraction due to social media is crazy. This is why I've been staying off this phone. Distraction due to social media is crazy. That's why I've been staying off this phone. And then, he really helped me a lot, because I said to him, over the Christmas holiday, that I made over 400 comments online. I made about 400 comments online. I think I did. Maybe I did, but maybe I made about 200. So I have an issue with being distracted by social media myself, but it's me doing it to myself. But hey, I gotta go to work. I'm at my destination. Thank you for listening. Like I said, stress, it makes you gain weight, so you need to relax. All right. Thanks for listening.